Thank you, Chairman Mikowski, Ranking Member Cantwell, for having this important and timely hearing. I hear from Montana counties every year, in fact, at the moment, about every hour, about their frustration with the uncertainty that's being created with the appropriations process and regarding PILT in the Secure Rural Schools program. I spent 28 years in the private sector before coming up to Congress. It's hard to believe that we are now 7 months into the fiscal year of the federal government and we haven't passed all the appropriations. And I can guarantee you, in about 4 more months, we'll be right back here in debate having the drama about CRs, about shutdowns and so forth here, because this institution cannot pass appropriation bills. It's ridiculous. It really is. It's such a broken process. I worked at Procter & Gamble for 13 years. I was in the health and beauty care business and the shampoos. This reminds me of lather, rinse, repeat over and over again here in Washington. With SRS in particular, since the program has expired, I mean, it's ridiculous. This is a program that expired. Our counties are counting on it, and this program's expired nearly a couple of years ago. Forest management remains woefully inadequate, and that is really the root cause here to get back to proper management of our public lands. Our counties recently received only a small fraction under the previous and historic 25% formula compared to what they had been receiving under SRS. My county commissioners in Montana, and if you want to talk about what local government's all about, I think you look at our county commissioners. They are really the coal face of decision-making. Every pothole, every complaint comes to those county commissioners. They're the true public servants. They've told me that this sharp cut will result in layoffs, in fewer road and school projects being completed, because this institution can't get its act together in Washington, D.C. Our Montana counties are frustrated with the pace and the scale of active forest management. Let's not forget we've got the problem with SRS and with PILT, but that is in some ways a Band-Aid that is covering up the real problem here. Is what once upon a time we used to have active forest management revenues coming to our counties. It's unfair to our counties in rural America to keep them in limbo each year in appropriations in these programs while doing nothing to improve the management of our federal lands. I certainly support reauthorizing SRS. Count me in with both feet as supporting it. At the same time, it is absolutely paramount that this committee and this Congress pass strong forest management reform legislation that restores active management to our national forest, because an actively managed national forest is a healthier forest. It reduces wildfire risk. It's better for wildlife habitat. I spend a lot of time in the backcountry, and we need to get back to active management. And we need to address the chronic litigation from fringe groups, which stops us in our tracks in Montana so many times. Mr. Whitney, you spoke to the needs to restore active management in your testimony. Can you elaborate on the economic and environmental benefits to increasing the pace and the scale of management?
Thank you for that question, Senator Daines. Active forest management is so critical. Without the management, we risk more forest fires. With the management, we can harvest timber, making them healthy for us, making our counties vibrant again. The rule is, I think, is 25% of all receipts that come off these Forest Service lands on timber harvest go to counties and school districts. So it is pivotal. I can't express that enough.
Commissioner Manis, I understand the Pend Oreille County is concerned about the fringe litigation against the collaboratively developed A to Z project in the Colville National Forest. Montana knows all too well how a fringe litigators can block responsible forest management. While I know you can't speak specifically about the active lawsuit, can you talk generally about how litigation needlessly slows forest management and undermines the work of collaborative groups?
Thank you for that question, Senator Daines. We are involved in litigation currently. The county signed on with the Forest Service And with our collaborative group out of Spokane, the Lands Council, in litigation to help the A to Z project move forward. Currently, we are scheduled on June 13th to be in the Ninth Circuit Court. Hopefully, this will end the litigation. So far, we have been able to prevail. The county signed on with American Forest Resource Council, and the beauty of that program was it didn't cost us any money. They defended us on that litigation. So we have a collaborative in the Colville National Forest called NUFIC, Northeast Washington Forest Coalition, that has worked very hard on this timber sale, the A to Z, which is a new model that we hope to use in the future. It's a very large timber sale. And through that effort, the collaborative group came up with a great sale. And it was litigated by a group out of Montana that is, as far as I'm concerned, should not have standing because they weren't at the table when this process was being made.
Most of those litigators aren't.
And that should change.
Agree. Thank you.
Thank you.